Ever notice how whenever something needs to be done to save the day in Star Wars, it's R2D2 that gets it done? Seriously, think about it. If it wasn't for R2D2 talking with a ship or computer system, the rebels wouldn't have had a chance. R2D2 might just be the greatest hero in all of Star Wars. Now, we recently watched all 7 movies basically in a row to compile this list. Episode 2. Anakin continues to be a liability to every insurance company ever by putting himself and Padme through a droid foundry. R2, evidently wishing to spare Padme the headaches of increased premiums, breaks out his booster jets and saves her from an otherwise fatal ore bath in the bucket, instead condemning her and her boyfriend to death by arena monster. Episode 3. Again stuck as astromech to a man who managed to talk to the Republic into paying for his cybernetic hand, R2 quite graciously eliminates a buzz droid aiming to mess up Anakin's day. Okay, this moment isn't quite germane to the question at hand, but I can't very well cover R2 during ROTS and not mention that one bit where he got confronted by 2 super battle droids. What does this 0.9 meter tall astromech do? He doesn't panic, and instead squirts both SBDs with oil before activating his booster jets to set the bastards on fire. Perfect that. Episode 4. R2 is given the famous message and vital plans for Obi-Wan Kenobi by Princess Leia when Vader arrives to take her into custody. He later plays them by accident when Luke is cleaning him. R2 finds that the princess is being held on the detention level. R2 reminds C-3PO to turn on the comlink and then shuts down the garbage mashers on the detention level. He shuts them all down. R2 fixes the stabilizer and increases the power on Luke's X-Wing so he can continue the trench run. Episode 5. R2 is much more quiescent here than in others, likely because he's ruminating on his resume and trying very hard not to think about the part where his main pilot is still from Tatooine and very likely on the path of being an insurance liability. Still, he does manage one pretty epic feat. He again manages a just-in-time repair of the shipboard systems, in this case being the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive, permitting them escape. Episode 6. By this time, R2 is most suspicious of Luke, being as he's talked to the rebellion into grafting him a prosthetic hand. This, of course, calls to mind the latest Tatooinean he saw getting a prosthetic hand. Very likely R2 is not sanguine about this business. Of course, his concerns are much more assuaged by the part where, when they go in to rescue Han, he's keeping Luke's saber in a secret compartment. This more than makes up for the new entry in his resume, which is drinks tray on wheels. Episode 7. R2 wakes up when the time is right, having had the rest of the map needed to find Luke. All told, while he's a short ass who hasn't got the right bits to even speak comprehensively in basic, without R2, there would be no Star Wars.